Let's discuss about Unit 3, Public Enterprises. The topic discussed in this session is Introduction to Public Enterprises. You need to know certain popular public enterprises operating in India, which are top 5. IOC, which is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. State Bank of India. Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited and Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited. One common feature of all these companies are they are owned by Government of India. So our session is about to discuss about the enterprises owned and managed by government, which is referred as public enterprises. So therefore, all economic organizations owned, managed, and controlled by the government are known individually as public undertakings and collectively as public sector. And you should remember, at times, public sector is also called as state sector. State means government. So therefore, let's discuss about these in much detail. The term public enterprise or public sector enterprise refers to any commercial or industrial undertaking which is owned and managed either by state or central government with a view to maximize. There are two objectives. One is social welfare, that is society's welfare, and to keep up the interest of public at large. Let's understand the definition. The definition of public enterprises given by A.H. Anson. According to him, public enterprises means state ownership. State refers to government ownership and operation of industrial, agricultural, financial, and commercial undertakings. So the government may own and control industry-related activities, agricultural-related activities, finance, or even commercial activities. Such an enterprise is referred as public enterprise. So public enterprise has been used in a more familiar sense, and it covers enterprises in specific area. So government ownership, and here there is an absence of profit motive. So they are focusing more on public welfare. So let's understand the characteristics of public enterprises. The characteristics includes government ownership, government management and control, service motive, financial autonomy, autonomous body, separate legal entity, public accountability, and perpetual succession. Let's discuss each of them. The first feature or characteristics is public ownership. Public enterprises are fully owned by the central government or state government or even local authority. Example, Indian Oil Corporation. So here it is purely under the control of central government. Government management and control. These enterprises are engaged and managed by the government or public authority. If a public enterprise is managed effectively by a state government, it is for the credit of the respective states. Next, it covers a wide range of activities, that is both commercial and non-commercial activities. The primary focus of these public enterprises is service motive, and government has 100% control, so they enjoy the benefit of financial independence or autonomy. And it is an autonomous body. Although the initial huge capital of public enterprise is contributed by the government, they are provided sufficient autonomy or freedom to manage their business affairs or activities in their own way. The government does not interfere in their day-to-day activities. Next, they have a separate legal entity. It means a file can be raised on the company itself, or it can be sued. Next, it is purely accountable to public. Since public enterprises are financed out of public money, they are accountable to the elected representatives of the public, that is the parliament or legislature. The parliament or a legislature exercise strict control over their functioning through various rules and regulations. There are a lot of formalities. To establish a public enterprises, it includes a lot of paperwork and it involves a lot of steps for establishing such enterprises. Perpetual succession. These companies grow and they continue to establish themselves to a greater level, and they continue for a longer period of time. So in case of any mishap or change in the government, these companies does not get closed. So they have a perpetual and a long life for their succession. So these are the few characteristics of public enterprises. And you have to remember that public enterprises enjoy a lot of freedom, that is autonomy. Let's discuss the objectives. The objectives of public enterprises includes the primary focus is on economic growth. They help in rapid economic growth and industrialization, and they create necessary infrastructure for the overall economic development. Their focus is to earn return on investment and therefore generate resources for countries' development. They promote redistribution of income and wealth. So therefore they assure balanced regional development. To create employment opportunities, that is their prime objective. To promote balanced regional development, to promote import substitution, make in India concept, Atmanirbhar concept, they all are focusing on to save and earn foreign exchange for the economy. Acts as a countervailing force that put an effective competition to undertaking in private sector. So government investment will make them to be stronger and to be on par or even excel the private sector. And the main objective is to control the overall and the commanding heights of the economy. So if the GDP has to grow, the government has to focus on industrialization and for the contribution of the nation's welfare. So we have discussed the introduction, meaning, definition of public enterprises, characteristics, and also objectives of public sector enterprises with top 5 public sector enterprises as examples.